With no alarms and no surprises, EA Sports has pumped out yet another incremental update to its football simulation series. FIFA 22's graphical upgrades and new animation technology make the beautiful game feel better, with goals demanding a more deliberate and rewarding playstyle. Aside from those minor but largely positive tweaks, this is the same game in a new pair of pants, which means its microtransactions are just as eager as ever to get you to turn your pockets inside out.
Here's Stewart, and a goal! 1-0 it is. They've been pushing for the opener, and now they have it.
If you've made the leap to a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, the aesthetic facelift is noticeable. It's mostly little things that stick out, like the way a football shirt catches a player's skin or the forehead sheen of a busy winger. There's still a very evident gulf in consistency between character models, though. If you're a perennial FIFA player, you'll know that graphical bumps are nice to haves, but gameplay is king. And this is where FIFA 22 has made some meaningful progression. Most of the improvements this year can be attributed to Hypermotion, a new motion capture technology that helps to make FIFA 22 feel more fluid on new-gen consoles by adding over 4,000 new animations harvested from real-life matches. This may sound like brain-numbing marketing jargon, but the change to the way players move actually results in tangible improvements on the pitch. A forward's legs will buckle from the momentum after they ping a shot in the top corner from outside of the box. Players will react naturally to the blowback from a strong pass, and wingers with high dribbling stats feel more flexible in the box. FIFA 22 is a slower game than FIFA 21, but that doesn't mean it's all about defense. There's not a lack of goals, you just have to earn them with careful passing play and a healthy dose of vision. Patience often seems to trump pace, which is very refreshing. Players like Jack Grealish and Jadon Sancho are a real challenge to track, with the new explosive sprint mechanic letting them leave you in the dust with a knock-on if you don't jockey to read their run. It can get hectic as the opposition closes in on goal, and this is where player switching becomes a bit too frantic as you try to fill all the gaps in your armor. If they manage a finesse shot from outside the box, it's usually game over. The goalkeeper's fingers aren't as buttery as last year, but even talented shot stoppers can fumble under pressure and leave you scratching your head. It's much harder to get past them in basic one-on-ones, but a quick fake shot or a long cross across the box seems to give them an existential crisis. Career mode is very similar to FIFA 21, but with a few new additions, such as the ability to create a club. In this separate mode, you'll replace an existing team and make your own crest, kit, and stadium, tweaking the board's expectations to your liking. If you've got the budget, you can scoop up some top-tier players, too. It's a neat idea, but in practice, it's much more fun to take a real club in an exciting direction instead of developing a squad of randomly generated androids. Player Career Mode now offers RPG-style objectives in each match that you must complete to build a relationship with your manager. Think of it as a visual novel, except you're trying to romance Steve Bruce into putting you in the starting 11 of Newcastle United. This is a lot of fun if you create your own player, as it features a massive skill tree, attributes to upgrade, and perks to unlock that help the whole team. Volta Football edges closer, but doesn't quite commit to being the new FIFA Street game we're all hoping for. This time there's no story mode, but it leans further into absurdity with abilities that give you supernatural powers on the pitch, such as lightning pace and deadly shots. But Volta's most interesting new addition annoyingly comes only at the weekends. Volta Arcade has you competing online in Fusion Frenzy-style party minigames where you can hone some important skills. Tense games of foot tennis help with crossing, while Disco Lava has you dribbling carefully to steal squares from your opponents. It feels more worthwhile than repeating skill games, so it's just baffling that you can't play Volta Arcade whenever you want. Over in Ultimate Team, it's another year of minor revisions on a formula that clearly works very well for EA, even if it delivers waves of Stockholm Syndrome to many players. Some extra stadium customization options help make your club feel more like home, and the Division Rivals framework has been made more forgiving with checkpoints and seasonal rewards. It'd be great to see a training mode that lets you play skill games with your ultimate team to get used to how they play together ahead of matches.
See here, he controls this free kick brilliantly. He gets it over the wall using the inside of his foot. He gets very little...
The online multiplayer is what's worth sticking around for. It's as palm-wetting and foot-twitching as ever, with the meta skill in flux as FIFA 21 players throw off the complacency that 99 rated end-of-year cards afford. Gone are the days when you would tremble in fear at your opponent's team before a match, too, as the PlayStation 5's SSD and a solid internet connection pretty much erase the loading process.
He elected to take on that shot. Absolutely brilliant.
And if you embrace the absurdity of Ultimate Team, you can still have a good bit of fun without feeding EA's golden goose. Why not build a J1 League team centered around the 54-year-old bronze striker Kazuyoshi Miura and force out a few tasty rage quits? Fleeting satisfaction aside, it's still not worth getting sucked into the billion-dollar money vortex for the sake of a few good cards. Regardless of your approach, all roads eventually lead to loot boxes. It should be noted that EA has fully implemented preview packs that let you look inside one loot box every day before you buy, but even so, the microtransactions are still very much front and center here. EA is not yet brave enough to tame the rampaging elephant in the room, and FIFA 22 suffers for it. FIFA 22 heralds the next generation of virtual football, and while it doesn't reinvent the ball, the attacking and defending gameplay gains moment-to-moment fluidity. Goalkeeping blunders and visual inconsistencies aside, this year's FIFA is one of the most nuanced and enjoyable multiplayer sports games on the market, and new additions across Career Mode and Volta Football have made FIFA's major modes more fun to play. Microtransactions still loom large, but small iterative changes and the horsepower of new-gen consoles combine to make FIFA 22 feel like a worthwhile upgrade without needing anything revolutionary or terribly exciting from EA's side. For more on FIFA 22, check out our video covering all the things that actually make a difference in this year's game, and for everything else, stick with IGN.
Welcome to a roguelite, unlike anything you've experienced before. In Curse of the Dead Gods, you face an ever-changing temple filled with deadly traps and monsters, which holds promises of untold riches, dark secrets, and divine powers. The god of death himself has corrupted what was once a city of splendor, turning the revered deities into evil guardians prowling in the shadows. Delve deeper with every run to collect treasures, weapons, and powerful relics, while uncovering the secrets that await in the darkness. The temple punishes all who dare venture into its depths. Many dangers are hidden from your sight in the shadows. Light fire baskets, braziers, or even set enemies on fire during battle to better see your surroundings and reveal hidden traps. Intricate combinations of these traps threaten your survival at every turn, but they can be used to your advantage to decimate entire groups of monsters. When you overcome a room, it's up to you to choose what comes next. Fights in Curse of the Dead Gods bring an addictive mix of fast decision-making, careful strategy, and sharp reflexes. You have access to a wide array of weapons, each with their own strengths, letting you delve deep into creating your own playstyle. Opt for speed and agility with swords, daggers, or sharp claws, or gain a brute force advantage with heavy hammers and swords that smash away foes' defenses. Raise your shield to deflect attacks, pull enemies closer with the whip, or keep them at a distance while chipping away with arrows and thrown knives. Each has a chance for special effects that modify their attributes, such as poisoning foes or triggering a flurry of lightning strikes. No foe can be underestimated, particularly the deadly bosses lurking in the temple's deepest recesses. Each boss pushes your build and skill to the limit, but with the right arsenal, you can rise to any challenge. You won't survive every encounter, but with each death, you'll also unlock powerful, game-changing bonuses that enhance future runs. As you explore each part of the ever-changing temple, you'll suffer from the corrupting influence of the god of death. By offering blood at altars, your corruption gauge will increase even further in exchange for more power. Eventually, your greed inflicts various curses with unique properties. Each will change how you approach your run, both in exploration and combat. One may render foes' corpses into explosives that set off devastating chain reactions, while another relentlessly triggers the traps around you. You'll have to adapt your playstyle, but curses are double-edged swords that can be used to your advantage. Experience new curses and new ways to use them in battle, with a wide variety of challenge modes, difficulty levels, and much more, culminating in a final showdown with death itself. Curse of the Dead Gods releases February 23rd on PlayStation 4.
PlayStation.
Hi everyone, I'm Sydney from Norsefell. I'm excited to show you a closer look at our upcoming game, Tribes of Midgard, coming to the PlayStation 5 in 2021. Tribes of Midgard is a co-op survival action RPG game. We've designed a beautiful world bursting with life, and we can't wait for you to discover it. Keeping the seed of Yggdrasil alive is the key to your survival. Every night, hell things emerge from the wilds and attack your village, threatening the seed. These attacks grow more challenging as Ragnarok, the end of the world, draws closer. Create your own Viking to defend against Ragnarok, or form a tribe of up to 10 players to take on the end of the world together. When you explore, you gather resources that you'll use to craft everything from weapons and armor to potions and your village's defenses. You can even open up new areas of the map by constructing ramps and bridges. You can deconstruct in a pinch too. Each world is procedurally generated, so you'll always find something new to do. Midgard is a rough and tumble place. You always have to be ready to fight. You'll level up as you gain experience, earning new abilities to take on even tougher foes. Your enemies drop souls that you feed to the seed of Yggdrasil. That's right, the tree drinks souls. But of all the challenges you'll face, we've saved the best and the biggest for last. You never know when a giant will attack your village. You're no match if you're unprepared. But if you've spent your time wisely, accumulated gear, and built up your defenses, you've got a shot. Though, you might want to call a few friends, just to be safe. When giants fall, they drop a bunch of rare loot, including the ingredients you'll need to make the most powerful items in the game. But that was just the first giant. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Midgard. We'll have way more to show you as 2021 approaches. Thanks for watching.
PlayStation